Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Fate Strange Fake, which is on episode 7. Now, this episode here was actually pretty nice and cool, so if anything else, let's just get this started. It will get a little confusing, so I will get to this one scene and then I'll try to transfer it to another scene that hopefully makes some more sense. So if anything else, let's just get this started. Of course, I'm going to talk about the beginning because that starts it all. We have to it that a girl named Hallie Vorzak ends up summoning a Berserker class servant, which is a mech servant. Looks like a mecha robot servant that fatally wounds her, but she doesn't mind it and ready to sacrifice herself to like destroy the Mages Association or society that took away her parents and everything that she had. By that time, before she was about to die and be killed, some homunculus, Einsborn homunculus, shows up that's being occupied by someone called Philia, saves her. By that time, we get to see what Philia is capable of, which I will get to just a moment. But let's just say Harry Vorzak at the beginning summons a Berserker class servant that almost kills her, but she is saved the last minute by Philia saying, I find you interesting, so come along with me, and we're gonna do something crazy. And by that time, we go to another scene involving Sigma. He is contacted by his client named Dealland, and of course, when it comes to like having to tell his client about what his servant is, he was warned by his own. He was warned by the Watcher, Sigma's servant, the Watcher, or the Watcher warning Sigma, saying, "Hey man, the assassin is actually behind you, so don't go revealing your truth about the servant right away." We have to it that Sigma, on the other hand, says, okay, okay, okay. He decides to lie about his servant is called Chaplain, which is very obvious that he's lying, and that's when Deolan decides to, like, send in a unit or some kind of group called Thorn to, like, maybe kill him or to capture him. Whatever the situation is, that moment where Sigma lied about his servant was already dropping yourself into a hole. So we had to it. Sigma ends up having to like talk to Saber and Assassin, and they propose a ceasefire alliance until they fulfill their own objectives or goals. By that time, the Watcher warns Sigma about the impending arrival of the Thorn unit ready to kill you. By that time, Sigma decides to betray his client and reveals all the information to like Saber, Ayakasajo, and Assassin of what he knows. But he's not going to reveal everything. He does talk about how the U.S. government is trying to make a Holy Grail war, and this involves like 13 sets of masters and servants. So by that time, he tells them, hey, you don't have to trust me, but I won't be trusting you either. Use me however you wish, and I'll be using you. All I care about is something to eat and a nice place to sleep. That's all I care about. By that time, Ayaka Sajo's master or servant, Ayaka Sajo's servant, sorry for confusing you guys, forgive me, ends up having to strike a deal and they shake hands on it. So I guess the deal is sealed. Now, Harry, Vorzak, and Philia ends up invading the base of where Basdilia Cordelion and Acletus is at, or maybe his real name Heracles is at, and they end up fighting each other. By that time, Harry Vorzak ends up summoning her Berserker servant to go cause a rampage of chaos and damage. We had to it, Francesca is actually impressed by this and actually wants to stop this from going any further because something she's trying to set up is going to be ruined. So she goes like, hey, I want you to go down there and try to get them to stop fighting because I have something set up and it's going to ruin the moment. So we have to it, she has a servant somehow teleport to where Halry Vorzak, Philia, and Basdelia Cordelion, along with like Acletus is at, and ends up stopping the fight and says, hey, let's talk this out, alright? Let's not cause any trouble here and there. And we get to see a scene with Subaki and her possible servant, which she calls Mr. Black. But whatever the situation is, she says, hey, what's going on here? I mean, what's the freaking deal? Other than that, we have to it Jester Carture, whatever his name is, ends up showing up behind Tsubaki and says, "Hey, there's something crazy going on, but other than that, there's nothing. There's no need to worry. there's not. There's nothing to worry, you know." But yeah. So in other cases, the ending of the episode involves Sigma having to shake hands and propose a ceasefire alliance for the time being after Sigma was told about the upcoming impending arrival of a Thorns unit or so to like kill him or annihilate him. Whatever the situation is, Sigma decides to team up and form an alliance with Saber, Aikasajo, and Assassin until their own objectives are pretty much complete. So, yeah. And you know, Haori voice acting this episode and her Berserker class servant, a mech robot if anything, and of course, like, Philia, some strange goddess, I guess, occupying an Einsman homunculus, shows up and says, "Hey, what's up?" You know, and then decides to attack Acletus and Basdiliad Cordillion's base. So, looking forward to see what happens next, but it was a little confusing this episode because we were going back and forth. But other than that, Francesca ends up having to like try to stop the fight with her servant and says, hey, let's not get into a little crazy stuff here and there. So, yeah. Looks like to me the setup has yet to begin, and who knows how the real war is going to start out, but all I can really say is like anything could go both ways. So, until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-ta-da!